The following teacher development program is brought to you by the MultiChoice Africa Foundation.
What a beautiful day. You and me in the sun, the birds and the bees.
And no maths.
Hello? Yeah, Veronique. What? That's fantastic. You go, girl. You go, girl. Right. Okay, ubulisa umzalo osanele lapha. All right, bye-bye. Sure. Yeah, the day just got better. There's Veronica.
Veronica?
My little sister. She got a raise.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not quite what she wanted. 10% instead of 11. But hey, it's not bad. She's a bit worried about this tax thing, though. I mean, you know how it goes. The more you earn, the more tax you pay. In the end, you get out less than before your raise.
But you know she can structure her salary to get out more each month.
Huh? Is that legal?
Well, of course. I mean, government is encouraging people to do it. It's a simple calculation.
Oh, I thought you said no maths today.
Hey, it's your little sister. So, how much does Veronica earn?
Right now, it's 10,000 rands. With 10% increase, that goes up to 11,000 rands before tax.
Okay, so we need to deduct the tax. And I think on that amount, it's 2,000 rand. I'm not sure. Oh, I wish I had my SARS tax booklet here.
Tax booklet?
Government sends them out for free. They'll tell you exactly how much tax you need to pay. Kamaleki phone, kumden phone about the percentage that your sister would have to pay.
Okay.
Okay. She says your sister will pay 1,907.78 cents a month on tax.
Okay. 11,000 rands minus
907.78.
907.78 cents. It's 9,092 rands, 22 cents. My sister can't afford to buy a new car. That's why she wants a bigger raise.
So what she could do is actually ask for a 2,000 rand travel allowance.
Why?
Because you only get taxed on 50% of a travel allowance. In essence, she'll get taxed on 10,000 rand instead of 11.
Wait. Better make sure I've got it. Okay, so her total earnings are 11,000 rands, of which 2,000 rands is a travel allowance. So she gets taxed 50% of that 2,000 rands, which is 1,000 rands. So she ends up being taxed on 10,000 rands all in all, instead of 11,000 rands.
Because of the travel allowance. And that puts her in a lower tax bracket, so she ends up paying less tax.
My sister is gonna love you.
But don't forget there are other deductions, like UIF, medical, pension, if the company has it. And her payslip will show it all.
I bet you learn about this in math literacy.
Well, that you do, my friend. In detail.
Cheers.
Laura Fenter from Northcliffe High School is teaching a maths literacy lesson on salaries. The learners should be familiar with some of the terminology. To assess exactly what they know, Lara does a group exercise called a bottom line activity.
It's called bottom line, which is kind of like a multiple choice thing. You're going to sort it out in your group, so there's no pressure. You can all sort it out in a group. Each person must choose the one that they think it is, learner 1. So Kelly, you could be learner 1, and then you've got to write it in, Sophia, learner 2. And then you pass this on, and you look at what you think the correct answer is going to be. Don't look at the previous person's answer. And then the bottom line is, as a group, what do you decide the correct answer is?
Each learner writes down the answer he or she believes is correct. Once they've all had a chance, they debate which one is the correct answer. This gives everyone a chance to argue why they chose what they did.
The net salary, that answer is C, total earnings minus total deductions.
After giving them the correct answers, the learners are ready to look at a salary slip and understand it. Lara explains what they need to do.
So I'll go through it with you, but it's very, very basic, except of course perhaps when you come to the deductions and earnings. But it's pretty straightforward. There are 7 steps that you must follow. And there's also a choice between either being a machinist or being a packer.
Now the learners have to do an individual exercise on their worksheet. They have to choose either a packer or a machinist and use the information on the worksheet to work out how much salary their worker will get at the end of the day. In this exercise, all the information was given. Learners just added and subtracted the data to arrive at the total. In the next exercise, the learners also have to complete a payslip, but this time they have to calculate the UIF and the income tax.
In the first column there, column A, they show you 0 and then 74,000, 115,000, so on and so on and so on. Those are annual incomes. If they get 74,000, they only get taxed 18% of that annual income. If they earn more than 74,000, in other words, between 74 and 115,000, then they get taxed 13,320 plus 25%. What I'd like you guys to do is I want you to work out what Busi's tax would be. Help her fill out her payslip.
The learners find it tricky to calculate their income tax. They cannot just do a simple percentage calculation because income tax is calculated in steps. You calculate 18% on one part of the salary and 24% on another part of the salary.
Ma'am, you know where it says, like, for tax payable, it says plus 25%. Do they mean 25% of the 13,320 or 25% of the 74,000?
We're going to look at answering your question by looking at Sipo's situation on page 2 of worksheet 2. Sipo, if you look at what he earns 8,000 a month, and to find the annual income, we multiply it by 12. And that's where they get the 96,000 Rand from. He earns between 74,000 and 115,000, which means that his tax for the year will be 13,320 plus 25% tax.
Where does the 13,320 come from?
The 13,320 is the tax that you would pay on 74,000. Just work it out and see what you get. What does Sipo earn? 96,000. So Sipo earns 96,000. Problem is, he doesn't get taxed just 18%, he has to get taxed extra because he's earning more. So what we do is we subtract 74,000 from the 96,000 to find out what extra he's getting. So he's earning an extra 22,000. He already gets taxed 13,320 plus 22,000 times 25%. If I add those two together, you get 18,820. Now what is that? Is that his monthly tax?
No, ma'am, isn't it yearly?
The yearly tax.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do to try and work out the monthly tax?
Divided by 12.
1,568,33. All right, guys, I've got
Lara hands out a careers newspaper supplement to the learners. They have to choose a career that has a salary listed and then work out the tax they would pay on that.
get per month and use this little tax column that you got on worksheet 2 to help you work out how the taxes would be worked out for the annum. Receptionist. Yeah, and then we have fun like we had today.
I chose to be a mechanical engineer. My gross annual was 200,000. After tax deduction, my total tax was 47,820 per year. My monthly tax was 3,985, which left me with a net income of 12,681, 67 cents.
Often, by looking at an issue mathematically, one can see it in a different light. The calculations have made the learners debate the merits of paying tax.
Your salary after tax.
I think that it's fair that rich people get taxed because it's not fair that they get all the money and then some people that don't have the money. So the government is fair. Half. We get some of the money, they get some of the money.
I think it's really, really unfair because those people that do have higher jobs in the community, they worked hard to get there. And so I think that's unfair. So that should get all the money they do earn.
It may not be completely fair, but it is logical to a point because there must be an equilibrium in the country in how much people pay. So the more you earn, the more you pay in taxes.
Now that the learners understand payslips and income tax, they are much more prepared to enter the world of work.
What does my sister have to give to the taxman to prove a car allowance? I've heard lots of people got themselves into hot water.
Well, there are two options. One is to keep a logbook of all her travel and submit at the end of each tax year. That's on the 28th of February.
But my sister is not organized. What's the other option?
Well, you write down your mileage. The first 14,000 kilometers are counted as private car use, and then up to 18,000 kilometers you can claim for business travel.
Sounds simple enough.
Hey, there's more. Your car's value comes into play. Fuel costs, fixed costs, maintenance.
Yeah, wait. How do you find all these out?
SARS has a guidelines.
You know, it sounds like that horrible flu when you say it like that, you know. SARS. You must just say South African Revenue Services.
Well, if you don't want to go to SARS, you can go to your employer and they'll explain the payroll to you. SARS.
By law, every employee needs to get a payslip, but not everyone understands what it means.
I really believe, that companies should actually educate their staff on how to read a payslip. It's very important, and just for them to know what to expect as a net salary. As you will see on this payslip, a basic salary of 25,000 Rand. And on this side over here, these are the deductions from the 25,000 Rand. The company will, however, also contribute a percentage. The pension, medical aid, and UIF is compulsory.
Tax keeps our country running, but how do we calculate how much to pay?
In terms of a pension fund, It's not taxable each month, as in the case of a provident fund. What happens is, from the 25,000 Rand, usually you would first deduct your pension, and then from the amount that you get after your pension deduction, you would then go to your tax table. This pay slip, it hasn't got the figure accurately, but we would first of all deduct our pension from the 25,000 Rand, and then whatever's left, we would then tax on that. So if I deduct that, I'll have 23,125, all right, and then we would go to the tax table to see what the tax should have actually been. As you will notice, you've got remuneration, annual equivalent, and then under 65 and over 65. Now, this particular person is under the age of 65. We've got 23,057. And then 23,131 Rand. So the 23,125 Rand would obviously fall in that category. And therefore, the proper tax should actually be 6,260 Rand 10 cents.
Thanks for bringing the tax booklet. Now we're looking for the travel allowance info that is on page 102.
Okay. Now read the numbers to me. What do you think your sister's car is worth?
Between 60 and 70,000 Rand.
Okay, now you need to look at what you can claim in terms of fixed costs.
Let's see. There we go. 33,873 Rand.
Okay. Now, did you ask your sister how many kilometers she does in a year?
Yeah, last year she did 29,000 kilometers. If we subtract 14,000 kilometers for private use, that leaves her with 15,000 kilometers to claim for.
Okay, so we first do the fixed cost calculations. Formula is fixed costs over total kilometers traveled.
Okay, give me the calculator.
Sure. Where is it? Okay, there.
All right, thank you. And there we go. 33,873. That's the fixed costs, divided by 29,000, which is the total kilometers, and that gives us 1.168.
Then you multiply your answer by the period used, and then you divide by 365 days.
Since she used the car for the whole year, it's 365 days over 365, which is equal to 1. So I can't do that. It remains 1.168.
Which you round off to 1.17 times 15,000, the amount of kilometers you can claim. That gives us
17,550 Rand.
See, that's your fixed costs. Now petrol, how much can you claim?
Let's see, that's 25.9 cents per kilometer.
And maintenance?
21.3 cents per kilometer.
So you multiply the petrol and maintenance factors by 15,000 kilometers in each case. And that gives you what?
15,000 multiplied by 25.9 is equal to... Okay, and then I divide that by 100 to convert it into rands and cents. Divided by 100 is equal to 3,885. And now to calculate our maintenance cost, we need to multiply our kilometers by 21.3, and that will give us, and that gives me, okay, then I divide that by 100 is equal to 3,195 Rand.
Okay, so now you add your fixed cost of 17,550 to your petrol costs and maintenance costs.
Okay, 17,550 plus
Petrol,
3,885.
maintenance,
3,195 is equal to 24,630.
But that means now she doesn't have to pay anything on a car allowance back to the taxman.
Yeah, because her car allowance is 2,000 rands per month, and it means 24,000 rands over a year. And that costs higher than that.
Exactly.
I think Veronica is gonna love you. In fact, I think it's high time you met my whole family.
Why?
Because